Shout out Near Falls with D-Hall's podcast.
Welcome to Near Falls with D-Hall. He's talking on bars and how they win it all. Yeah, it's just Near Falls with D-Hall. The final takedown, the glory or the fall. So loosen up, step on in, wrestle with the need to win. Talking Near Falls with D-Hall. Ready or not, he's here to brawl.
D-Hall.
We are back, baby. What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome into another edition of Near Falls in the WPIAL. It's your boy, D-Hall. Of course, back with my main man, Marky Kaz. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, my man. It's been a while since we've been on this, but it's great to be back, as always, talking wrestling with you. The hundreds of guests we have every year. You know, it's the best time of year. I know you would agree. I'm excited, man. We're back in wrestling mode. Back
fully in wrestling mode. It is the best time of year, no doubt about it. Like you said, great time of year to get going on this. Of course, as you guys are seeing a little bit of a new look, I got the ticker down below to kind of keep you guys informed of what's going on this week. And what we have going on next week as well. And also, you guys are going to notice we are doing a little bit of ad reads and a little bit of commercials this year to help subsidize what we have going on. And we always appreciate you guys that you come hang out with us and just talk wrestling, because that's what we love to do. And my man right here is one of my favorites to do it with. What do you think, Kaz? Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right. So what we got planned for you guys today, two fantastic guests, Sean Taylor, of course, from West Allegheny, and the WVU 165-pounder goes out and takes 7th place at the CKLV tournament this past weekend. So we're going to sit down and talk to him. And then on the high school side of things, and I guess, Kaz, this is kind of where we can get right into it before we have these guests on. I mean, Chartiers Houston tournament. Moon goes out and takes the championship. Ask around. I'm not, and maybe we'll ask him when he comes on here in a little bit, Coach Morocco. But I can't tell you the last time Moon won a tournament, and they did it in impressive fashion over there at Chartiers Houston.
Yeah, I mean they were phenomenal. They wrestled great all weekend, Friday and Saturday. They were lights out. They had 5 champs. Took five of the 13 weight classes. Multiple bonus points in the finals, and they end up. Didn't run away with it. NA was close, but I mean it was a 2-horse race, and Moon came out on top. They did what they needed to do in the finals, and they were 5 for 5 in the championship. So when you do that, you're going to win a lot of team races, whether it's Powerade, the Chart Houston tournament, state tournament, doesn't matter. You go 5 for 5 in the finals, Donnie, you're winning a lot of team races.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, like you said, that's a good portion, over 30% of the weight classes there at the Chartiers Houston tournament. And a tournament that, you look across the results there, Kaz, a lot of like AA and AAA on each other in the finals, and some really interesting results, on the backside and just upsets, honestly. It's always interesting to see like the new kids that come in that switch weight classes. I always find that interesting to see where everyone's at the first couple tournaments of the year. Yeah,
and I'm sure we're going to talk about a freshman who had a big tournament here at Char Houston. I don't know if we want to call it an upset. It's an upset on paper, but the people, and we'll get to who we're talking about, but the freshmen, there's been some freshmen that have burst onto the scene just like they do every year. And that's kind of always the exciting part. I feel like every year at Powerade or somewhere, you and I dig deep into the bag of tricks and pull out one of these WPIAL freshmen, but it's deservedly so because there's always a handful of them that are in the mix come the postseason in these big tournaments, and we have a couple more on our hands this year.
Yeah, and before we bring Sean on here to kind of talk about his tournament, I mean, you look across the landscape also, we're going to dive into, I mean, there was, the duels across the
incredible.
And that's a kudos to the coaches at on the high end for the AAA side of things. I mean, they want to have that early competition against each other, and I love that. I mean, Norwin, Coach Kyle Martin, Ronnie Tarquinio, Matt Levy, Jordan Mayer over at Cannon Mac, like these. All these guys want to duel each other, and I find that fantastic to kind of, at least from our side of things, to get an early look at what things look like.
Yeah, there's teams who haven't competed yet, and then there's Cannon McMillan, who wrestled the number 1 and 2 ranked team in AAA already in a 2-day span. These AAA duels this past week have been incredible. We've seen about 5 head-to-head matchups of teams that, on paper, you and I would both say are 5 of the 5 or 5 of the 6 best teams in AAA. And this is going to be year 3 or 4 now that you and I look at each other and say, well, AAA is a crapshoot. They can win it on this day. They can win it on that day. And there's about 5 or 6 in the mix, no different from last year. And we're going to have the same conversations we did last year, this year, about the AAA team race.
No doubt about it.
And I love it.
Oh, I mean, it's fantastic. It creates parity, creates interest, which is it's a great thing for you and me. But what do you think? Let's bring on our man Sean Taylor. Shawnee, how are you, buddy?
There he is.
Good. What's up, guys? What's up?
How's it going?
Good. Thank you guys for having me on here. I appreciate it.
My man, thank you for coming on and hanging out with us. I guess first things first, man. Congratulations on your 7th place finish at the CKLV. Kaz, I don't know, for me, probably the best non-postseason tournament in Division I wrestling.
Yes, 100% agree.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. So let's just run right into it, man. Obviously, it's not a secret. You had a kind of a fantastic end of your high school career into its tumultuous finish. And then you move into going to WVU with your boy Ty Waters down there, and seemed like you're finding your foot, man. Talk to me about, you earned your starting spot over there at 165 for the Mountaineers, and you go out and finish 7th. Just talk to me about where you're at, my friend.
I'm just working every day, man. Just trying to get better. It's different from last year because this year I actually get to compete, and I feel like competing, it allows you to break down your wrestling, and it allows you to focus on 1 to 2 things in the practice room that you have to get better at. And I think that I've just been doing that and working with the coaches a lot. So yeah.
How's the transition been for you going from high school into college? Just all aspects of it, from the education standpoint, managing that in wrestling, the extra minute in the first period, how you practice, who you practice with. Just talk to me about the transition.
Yeah, so my transition was kind of crazy. So we all know, my senior year didn't get to wrestle, got in trouble, and then as well as I had surgery on my knee. So going in there to the Division I room was just crazy, man. It was real crazy. I was out of shape. Just not everything was kind of there. But then, and also like school. Oh my gosh, the balancing just like your practices, your schooling, your tutoring, all that. It's hard, but it's definitely manageable, so yeah.
Talk to me about your weight, my friend. You wrestled 160 in high school, you're wrestling 165 now. Has that been an issue for you? Have you found kind of a system on how you keep your weight under control? Because obviously, dealing with your weight in high school and dealing with your weight in college, 2 completely different things.
Yep. So in high school, wrestled 160, sophomore, junior year. Senior year I was kind of at 160, 172. But so everyone knows, like, making 160 was hard for me. Like the day of the tournament in the morning, 6 a.m., I'm running before weigh-ins, like whatever it was. I go to college, I was wrestling 157. I ended up missing weight for a wrestle off, so it was like 157.6 or something like that. And I got real big. So after I missed weight, like 2 weeks later, coaches were like, all right, you're going 65, but let's check your weight. I think I weighed, oh my gosh, like maybe 182. So my weight was just insane. I didn't know how to manage it. I had no clue what I was doing. But this year I've been really good about my weight. Coach has like this plan for all of us, like a certain percentage of your weight you're allowed to be over. So me, I wrestle 165. So the heaviest I'm allowed to be is 175, 10 pounds over, which is really good. Like, in practice, I'm losing like 5, 6 pounds of practice, and that leads me to be 4 over. And, that's it, it's just really easy to make weight. Only because I took the steps to fix that from last year. Like, I'm eating healthy, I'm drinking lots of water, and just trying to do all the right things.
So talk to me about this past weekend in Vegas. You've obviously wrestled on big stages at the state tournament, at Powerade. But this was kind of your first big event in college, wrestling on the national stage in Vegas, loaded bracket. How do you think you wrestled, and how was the experience kind of competing in your first kind of big time college event?
Yeah, it was cool. The farthest I've been from my house probably is Florida, and this is my first time to the West Coast in Vegas. It was really cool. Tournament was nice. Like, it's crazy seeing all the people in high school that I was watching to get better. I'm wrestling at the same tournament with them. It was kind of weird. I was talking to my dad about that. But yeah, it was real nice. I think I wrestled decent. I definitely could have wrestled way better. Seventh place isn't like where I wanted to finish. I wanted to win the whole thing, but it didn't happen that way. But I'm okay with seventh. It was my first real hard college tournament, and I went out there and kind of beat some guys that people didn't think I could beat. I even surprised myself a little bit. Like, I went out there and I wrestled way better than I really saw me wrestling. So.
Talk to me about that matchup with Mac Church. I mean, obviously, someone that you are familiar with, that wrestled in the WPIAL, wrestled in your backyard. You go all the way out to Vegas, like you said, never been out to the West Coast, and you see someone that you've probably been in the same practice room with a bunch of times.
Yeah. Me and Mac, Mac's my boy. We end up wrestling. It's the first time we've ever wrestled in our lives. I've known him for a little bit now, but yeah, it was a real hard match. Ended up going to overtime. I couldn't really get to my offense on him. He's really good. He's just really good wrestler, man. He'll hop and get that front head trap, get that cradle and pin you. But went to overtime. I ended up getting a takedown the literally last second of the overtime period. We were scrambling a little bit, and I ended up getting the takedown. And Virginia Tech ended up challenging it, but it showed like I had 1 second left, got the takedown. So yeah, it was a fun match for sure. But yeah, Mac's my boy. So
That's cool.
Do you like the 2-minute sudden victory in overtime compared to the 1 minute in high school?
you know, I think it's harder on your conditioning for sure, but I don't know. I really don't mind it. And, it's just you get the takedown or you don't to win the match. So yeah.
And then what's your take on, I love asking this to some college kids, no points in the 2 minute and you go to the 2 30-second rideouts where riding time now becomes a huge kind of strategy almost now. How do you approach that? Or what's your opinion on that?
I don't know, man. I don't think I've ever really been in a
You gotta
match.
get there first.
Yeah,
Like,
I got to get there
experience
first. In the practice room though, we do simulations and stuff like that. I'm not the best guy on top, so it kind of sucks for me. A lot of times I have to drop down on the leg and I'll take my stall call, but I like you said, I have to get there. I have to get there to feel it. So I got a long career ahead of me, so I'll have to answer that whenever I get there. Hopefully I don't though. Hopefully I'm able to.
Yeah, end them quick.
Yeah.
Sean, what's it been like being around Ty in college? Obviously, we spent many hours with him in high school, but what's it been like watching him, just kind of take the expectations and thrive on them? And I just find it so impressive, and obviously, it seems like some of that's rubbing off on you.
Yeah, man. Just working with Ty, like even drilling with him, whenever you think of like a drill, you're like, okay, whatever, we'll just go drill. But no, like, he takes you down and then he's right on you, and he pushes everyone around him to be better. And he's a really good guy to be around, and just a good person, really good person.
Talk about the kind of WPIAL pipeline you guys have going on at West Virginia now. Obviously, we've talked about you and Ty a lot, but with Mason Kernan and Rune Lawrence, Lonzy Vilma,
Islamov, Ramil.
Miss Ramil Islamov, like there's a strong pipeline of WPIAL guys. Are you and Ty and some of these guys also doing some self-recruiting guys?
If I see guys in the WPIAL, I'll say something to the coaches and I'm like, hey, look at this guy. Yeah, the pipeline from the WPIAL is crazy, man. We got some hammers from there.
Shawnee boy, last question I have for you. Just talk to me about, going forward. How are you going to try to, use this to kind of either maintain focus or build off of it? What's your next step in your processes?
Yeah, so this tournament definitely a big confidence booster. I had a lot of fun there, and this isn't like the best Sean you guys will see. This is literally just the start, like the very bottom, I promise. And I'm just gonna use it as confidence, man. Gonna go to the practice room the same way I've been doing, working hard and trying to score points and just get to my offense is what I've been working on. So, yeah.
What do you have coming up next, or something you're looking forward to kind of on your schedule?
Yeah, so we have this Friday we wrestle UNC down in North Carolina, and then Sunday we wrestle Oklahoma State at W. I'm excited for that matchup. Ladarian Lockett, I think he's number 2 and number 3 right now. I'm excited. And then one matchup that I'm really excited for is Dylan Evans versus Pitt. Everybody knows how my junior year ended. Down at state finals, ended up losing. But I've never wrestled him since then, and we're the same weight now, and I'll be down in Pitt wrestling him. So yeah, that'll be a good match that I'm looking forward to.
That was a great rivalry that you two had your junior year. It seemed like every weekend you guys saw each other. I know you guys probably loved it being the competitors, but from a fan standpoint, we all loved it too. And that's going to be pretty cool to kind of see that match happen again 3-4 years down the road.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, man. I like that. I after that happened, I've lost sleep over that match, stuff like that, and it feels good that I know I'm gonna finally be able to maybe get a chance to like beat him. So it'll feel good again. It'll bring something out in me.
The next chapter in the rivalry. I'm pumped for that, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Shawnee boy, anything for us or anyone out there before we leave you go?
I just want to say shout out to my parents. They ended up flying from Pittsburgh to Vegas to watch me wrestle, and I know it cost a lot of money, and I'm just very grateful for them. So
good stuff.
I miss your dad. I haven't seen him in a while. I gotta see him soon. Dad's one of my favorites. Definitely. One of the best out there.
Yes, sir. Of course.
All right, Shawnee boy. Stay sharp. Stay busy. We'll see you soon, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thanks, Sean.
All right. Sorry for the changing of the camera angles there. I was trying to figure out what the best case was there on the Instagram side of things. But, yes, great kid, as always.
Yes.
Pumped to see, at least it seems like the maturity level is there. Just straight up admitted that, got in trouble his senior year, something that's, was well documented at the time and, unfortunate. But to see him not let it define him and to kind of get on the other side, you got to love that.
I was going to say the exact same thing. You've known Sean and his family your whole life. I've known Sean and his family for 5 or 6 years now, and they're good people. And to see where Sean is at now, he was fighting some demons his senior year, and he admitted that, and he took ownership of it. Like you said, well documented, and to see how he has responded from that in the way he has is just a testament to him, his family, his coaches, his surrounding group of people. I couldn't be more proud of him. And a 7th place finish at the CKLV, I don't even think we're going to remember this finish because of the better accolades he's going to have in the next 4 years. This will just be an afterthought. I think he's focused. The talent is obviously through the roof. Don't have enough good things to say, about Sean.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He is the man. Super pumped up that, he's hung out with us and took some time out. And, obviously big fans of his for a long time. But all right, man, let's dive back into the WPIAL. I mean, it was crazy, dude. It really was. I looked across the board and, just straight up, we kind of touched on it in the beginning there, but we'll dive into a bunch of the Shark Houston tournament when we have Mike on here in a minute. But man, a lot. These duels right off the rip were crazy. And
Yes,
before
they
we
were.
do that, as we kind of do this tease, let's run our ads real quick, and then we'll jump right back into it. The little radio tease, if you will, Kaz.
Is not game day without Pizza Bosa. Perfect for the family and the guys. Right next door to the PPG Paints Arena in downtown Pittsburgh. Dine-in, pickup, and delivery available from 10 a.m. to midnight. Stop by 741 5th Avenue or call 412-575-7575.
Hi, my name is Antonio Reyino, owner of Reversal Health and Wellness. I've been in healthcare for nearly 20 years and seen the effects obesity can have on someone's health. That's what inspired me to offer GLP-1 therapy at Reversal Health and Wellness. New evidence-based research has shown remarkable benefits of the therapy, including reversing fatty liver disease, improvement of sleep apnea, and slowing the progression of heart and kidney disease. And unlike national online companies, you won't get lost in the mix and you're not just another number. You'll receive a personalized treatment plan tailored to your goals and your health. And if you're not near Newcastle, Pennsylvania, no worries. Telemedicine options are always available. Also at Reversal Health and Wellness, we offer IV hydration therapy. We offer 7 different IV cocktails infused with nutrients designed to restore balance, boost energy, and support optimal health. Rather, if you're an athlete training for a competition, or a fatigued mother or two, or recovering from an illness, IV hydration will benefit you. We're located in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, on Wilmington Road at the Maison Building. You can either book online or call the office. Thank you.
All right, dude. So that's a couple of our sponsors, a couple more ad reads that we have. One thing I got to talk to you guys about, and Kaz, you'll give it on your side. I got 2 golf courses sponsoring the show this year for you guys, and man, those of you that are familiar with Kaz and I, we're both big golfers. We love the golf in the off season. When we're not talking wrestling, we're usually talking golf. So this side of the city over here, just north in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, Fox Run Golf Course. Check it out. It's a fantastic course under new ownership. Of course, I only like to work with wrestlers. So wrestling family, the Stroop family out of Beaver County. Some of you guys will be familiar with that. They are relatives of Coach Stroop over at Freedom. But it's a fantastic little public course, 18 holes. Kaz, what I love about it, so here's what they changed when they bought the course. The first hole used to be a 610-yard par 5, and it used to you have to hit your ball into a cove of trees. They changed it. The first hole now is 500-yard downhill par 5. So you go from trying to make a tough par to an easy birdie. So right off the rip, you know what I mean? It's just, they're doing great things, and I love the Stroop family, what they're doing over there, and so pumped to have them a part of the podcast.
Yeah, and on kind of my side of the city, east of the city, in Export, Pennsylvania, Manor Valley Golf Course. I spend a lot of time at Manor Valley in the summer. I know you've made your way out there. The owner, Vince DiAugustine, head wrestling coach at Seton Hill University. Vince has been a longtime owner of Manor Valley, does a great job with day-to-day operations. It's a family environment. His mom and dad help out there. He hires wrestlers as his employees. It's a big family atmosphere. A range of different activities. They have a ballroom, full service bar, restaurant in there, 18 holes. And one of the best parts of Manor Valley is the location. If you're in the Greensburg area, it's a 10-minute drive. Monroeville, you're only about 15 minutes away. They host the 93.7 The Fan Open every year. The Fan Open, where you get a lot of outings throughout the summer, and they have golf weeks 2 days a week during the summer. And with the weather the right way, there are lights on the front 9 for a little Monday night golf league under the lights. So Manor Valley Golf Course in Export, PA, east of Pittsburgh. come spend some time this summer. Good chance you'll see me and D-Hall there.
Seriously, great way to say that, man. And we got a lot of love for Vinny D and what he does for not only just the wrestling community, but especially out there, man. Like you said, hiring wrestlers, just a great family atmosphere. I love that. And the last couple ones we have for you, of course, 2 ones that we have last year. Division I Wrestling Club down there in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania, of course, with the great Mr. James Fleming. Of course, he is one of the premier coaches in the area. I love just talking wrestling with him. I was talking to him on Saturday at Chartiers Houston. He's now an assistant coach at Upper St. Clair. But man, he's something special. He breaks down wrestling like he speaks in a different language. It's unbelievable. I love talking to him. And of course, go check them out at division1wrestlingclub.com. And Kaz, the only other one we have, my friend, of course, Quest School of Wrestling, Mr. Jim Akerley, one of my favorites of all time. I love talking to him every single time I get a chance. It's like I'm talking to like Nostradamus or something. Someone like he's unbelievable whenever you talk wrestling, how he breaks it down, how he teaches kids, and you hear it from time and time again from all kinds of different people and all different walks, and they just love Coach Akerley and love what he does over there in Muse, Pennsylvania, I believe, is where the club is at. It's literally on like a farm, which is cool. So if you get there, you don't have any service. It's like one of those type of systems. So, but it's cool, man. Again, thank you guys so much for the sponsors, and thank you guys out there. Listen to these sponsors and don't just like go in one ear and out the other. These are wrestling people. Go support these people. You know what I mean? They support us. They want to support you guys and whatever their field and whatever their business is. Go support them. And we thank you. All right, Kaz. What do you think, dude? Let's get right into it. I guess we can start off with Chartiers Houston. Go ahead and kind of just give your initial thoughts. Obviously, Moon wins the tournament. NA takes second. I'm going to send this email over to Coach Morocco.
Yeah, so Moon was your team champs, followed by North Allegheny. North Hills took third, and a very strong performance out of Jefferson Morgan, taking fourth in this tournament. They were the highest AA finisher, and they did it without arguably their best wrestler in the lineup. So those 4, to me, great performances, but to me, it's headlined by Moon. We touched on it earlier, 5 for 5 in the finals. Bryce Thomas at 107 won. Hayden Seymour at 114 won the bracket. Cale Yannick at 139, a name we've been saying for years. It feels like he's a 7th-year senior. I feel like we've been talking about Cale for a number of years, Donnie.
I think he just committed to Mercyhurst.
Yes, I did see that.
I think he just signed or whatever, so that's good for Cale. I mean, like you said, not to interrupt, but yeah, love me some Cale.
Liam Costa at 172. Liam kind of bursted onto the scene last year. Had a big win in the finals over Carter Morvay, who we've talked a lot about last year of North Hills, and then Michael Olszewski at 189. A bonus point win in the finals. So 5 for 5 in the finals for Montour. You're going to win, or Moon. I'm sorry, you're going to win a lot of. Right there, you're going to win a lot of team races by doing that, Tony.
Yeah, man, I agree, and it's like you look across just the totality of the tournament. First thing, man, I went there on Friday. There were so many people there; it was unbelievable. Like they packed, not to be blunt, but like 8 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag in that school. I mean, they got 2 gyms, and it's just people running around everywhere. But it was great. It's you walk into that as soon as you feel that like musty, like thick air. It just feels like wrestling, and it gets my juices flowing. But man, I mean, soon as I walked in, I mean, some of the upsets were starting to take place before I even got there. I mean, one right off the bat, Orlandani from Beth Center, originally from Beth Center, now over at Jefferson Morgan, goes out and beats Matt Dana, and I believe like the round of like 32 or something like that.
It was a round of 32 or the round of 16. Dana was the 1 seed, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. And Orlandi was unseeded. and he caught him early in that. He didn't catch him. I mean, he ran into him early in that bracket, and Orlandi ended up making us the whole way to the finals. He ended up becoming the runner-up at 160. He lost to Jordan Thompson of Bradford, a non-WPIAL school. But it wasn't just an upset that happens and then he loses the next round. He ran with it and made the whole way to the finals.
Yeah, he did. And he runs into Jordan Thompson from Bradford, who, looked pretty good all the way across the board. Big upset for him, I feel like, over Cole Gibbons from Mount Lebo in the semis via 4-2 decision. Cole Gibbons, a guy from Mount Lebo, I expect big things of this year. And I think that, both these guys, it just, like I said, I like this tournament because it's a lot of double A and triple A on each other. And we don't normally get to see that throughout the course of the year.
Right. And looking at Jordan Thompson here, I mean, he was 40-7 last year. He's a senior. He took 5th in the state last year. So that's a high caliber guy there. And him and Gibbons, I mean, Gibbons is a name we've talked about who's really good out of Mount Lebanon. And then kind of the other upset, we saw one of the freshmen we talked about, Olympic Serraro, the freshman out of Mars, ends up beating Drake McClure out of Bentworth, who's in his junior year and has been kind of one of the premier guys in Double A as a freshman and a sophomore. And Serraro took him out in the bracket, and Serraro ends up going to the finals, where he eventually lost to Cale Yannick of Moon, 11-4.
Yeah, I think that's another one that you it's a good to highlight there. And, you don't normally see, sometimes you see the freshmen get in there and make waves in the lighter weights, but the middle weights and upper weights especially, it's kind of more rare. I feel like especially earlier in the season, maybe at the end of the season, they kind of get their feet wet, get a full season of training, kind of see it, feel it. But early in the season to kind of get that win is impressive. But again, Cale Yannick, just kind of the stopgap there, just super impressive for Moon. And then kind of a guy that, I'm sure we're going to talk about here with Coach, has kind of been like the flag bearer for that program.
Yeah, and one match I do want to give a shout out. The 3rd and 4th place match at 172, Owen Ivchik, 33-21.
Yes.
What him and Bryce Catanzaro, Upper St. Clair, what was going on? 33-21. The box score or the Flow Arena score took me an hour to read through, trying to go back and forth. Everybody just take a second and look at this. You can go back and watch this match on Rockfin, I believe, via PA Power. Go back and watch the match. It's got to be a state record.
So August Meja,
Maybe
of course,
a
good friend of the program, good friend of the show, right? I texted him. I'm like, dude, what the heck happened? He said, I think at one point one of the refs got confused or something, and they were like, let's just go 15-15. Both sides go with that, and they're like, I guess. So so they went 15.
There's still going to be 25 points.
Right. So you just, holy crap. And I looked over at that score. I'm like, I did like a triple take. I snuck in there. I think I walked in at like the 145 or 152 finals, and I watched the rest of them. And we'll get into like the heavyweight match in the finals was fantastic for two big boys rolling around. But yeah, just a lot of dogfights, man, and especially this one in particular. Just so many points. Again, go back, PA Power. It's on their page. Go check it out. I forget what it would have been. Mat 3, because they do 1, 3, 5.
Yes.
So go check out Mat 3 on the 3rd place vouch. So
there were. I went back and watched some of the semis matches. I wasn't able to tune in live Saturday because of other wrestling engagements, but there were some really good semis. The Liam Costa Owen Ivchik semi was really good. One of the best was the Griffin Reed Rook Smith. Rook Smith placed in the state last year. Griffin Reed of North Allegheny beat him 7-5. That was one hell of a match, especially this early in the season. That was maybe one of my probably my favorite match to watch, other than the 33-21, just because how can you not love that? I'm sure their coaches weren't crazy about it. But from a spectator, it's an entertainment sport, right?
Yeah, listen, buddy, it was wild. And there's been some videos and stuff out there on social medias of like just madness. But what they don't know is like both those dudes are pretty freaking good. Like Owen Ivchik is like really freaking good. Catanzaro is starting to find his way too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely not like a JV match like some of these.
No.
I've seen some of this stuff online and that.
The Steelers haven't scored 33 all year. Ipchick did it in 6 minutes.
We're gonna get into that now. Okay. All right, let's get into let's bring Coach on it and just discuss, man. It's gonna be good stuff. All
Hey, how
right.
we doing?
What's up, Coach?
Good, Coach. Good
What's
to
going on?
see you. Let's see if I can get this figured out. Let's see here. Anyways, Coach, very good to talk to you. Very good to see you.
Yes, thanks for having me on.
Beautiful. There we go. There we go. First things first, congratulations on your first place finish at Chartiers Houston.
Thank you. Thank you. They worked hard. They earned that one.
Go ahead, Kaz.
Talk about the performance of your guy. I mean, you were 5 for 5 in the finals, and you have a third place finisher at 215 in Khalil Razapour. I mean,
Right.
winning the last match of your tournament, no matter what place bout it is a positive. Talk about the performance of your guy Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I just think it kind of adds to what they've been doing so far. And I mean, we're so early in the season, but I mean, pretty much everybody who placed, all of them, they wrestled all off season and not just one day a week. They're in the room all the time. So this is just a continuation of the work that they're putting in there. But then in our short amount of season that we've had to start actually as a team here, in I guess legit season, it's just been fun in the room. I think they're flowing well together. Practices have been great, like upbeat, competitive. It just kind of was like just a straight natural flow right into the tournament. It's pretty exciting.
Coach, talk to me about man, this group of kids. It just seems like, I was watching the kind of the atmosphere. I always enjoy kind of like watching the team, and it seems like every single kid was invested in every match, no matter if it was a consolation match or a championship match. What do
Yeah.
you attribute that culture to?
We try to focus a lot on team. Everybody comes to all our competitions, whether you're competing or not. It's in the practice room. I just feel like we worked well as a team. Type of thing. It's a whole buy-in by everybody. And that honestly, we have a couple seniors, couple leaders that interact with some of the younger guys or the newer guys and keep them involved. One of our captains, Rigotti, he placed in the tournament too, but he's just always a guy that's kind of looking out for some of the new guys, letting them know. I mean, I hear him all the time, like checking in. Hey, did you write your weight down? Hey, did you respond to coach about whatever? Like he's just checking in and just kind of keeping everybody together. And then that's what happens whenever the tournament rolls around. Is you always got extra guys in your corner whenever you're out there competing.
Talk about how valuable it is to have those leaders in the room and in the hallways in school, kind of keeping everyone in line, making sure everything's kind of straight and narrow.
Yeah. Today was a prime example. We have a match tomorrow. We're going through practice, and I'll be honest, I was kind of like, we had a practice plan. I fumbled over who was going, if it was number one or number two, rotating back and forth. And I think I moved on to a new drill, and number two never even got their opportunity. And one or two of the guys were like, Coach, number two's got to go still, and it's like, great, thanks, and we just roll with it. But I mean, it's kind of like how it works in practice. They're just leaders. And a lot of them have been with us for a number of years now, so it's just kind of all part of the routine.
Coach,
Makes it easier, makes it a lot easier and a lot more fun for me and the other coaches in the room for sure.
no doubt. Coach, 5 champs.
Mhm.
Obviously, for me, highlighted by Mr. Kale Yannick at 139. Talk about the impact that he's had on your program. It seems like he's kind of been the guy that had set the standard for you guys.
I mean, I don't know. In that match in itself, he was down at some points and he battled back. He's just tough. He's very tough. He's very smooth. He works well. He works hard. He's one of the last guys to leave the room, even after practice is over. He's usually sticking around. Sometimes with Bryce Thomas, the two of them will stick around. They'll either drill or Kale will wrestle with someone else, whatever, or coach or anything like that. He's never in a rush to get out of there. I mean, he's a captain again. I think this is 3 years. He's been voted by his team to be a captain for 3 straight years. So even as a sophomore, I mean, he was a little bit more quiet, maybe as a sophomore, in the room, but he was still leading by example.
With your performance this weekend and
Hmm.
just the guys you have, to me, there's no secret that you guys can compete with anybody in AAA. And tomorrow, you're going to get the opportunity to wrestle the defending WPIAL champs in Franklin
For sure.
Regional.
Yeah.
How excited are you and your guys to get that matchup early in the season and kind of get that measuring stick out, see where you guys stack up?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good test. It's a good challenge. Welcome the challenge, especially early on in the year here, kind of see where we're at. Yeah, the tournament was great. We celebrate that, but now we're moving on. So we got Franklin. We'll see how things go. Ready to get after it. I'm just excited for it. The opportunity here.
Coach, talk about the next thing after that. Of course, you have your Moon Duels this
Yes.
Saturday,
Hmm.
quickly becoming one of the premier duel tournaments in what I call duel weekend in the WPIAL.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice because we have our duels and was it Hampton or something, or Kiski has their
Oh, there's a
duels
bunch.
too.
There's
Both.
Yeah,
Hampton,
yeah.
Kiski, North
Both.
It's
Hills. There's a whole
nice.
bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Well, especially with the 6 matches now, it's some, good competition. Looking forward to it. Um, especially kind of, with the team that we got this year. Hopefully we can do some good things here, represent at home. But yeah, Saturday. I'm gonna move on to that one. This is like the most amount of wrestling that we have done in probably all my year. I guess all my years here coaching at Moon like this. 2 tournaments within the first 2 weeks, 2 matches within the first 2 weeks. So we're getting a lot of mat time, which is great.
What looking past the Moon Duels on your
Yeah.
schedule, where else are you guys heading this year? Whether it's individual tournament, team tournaments.
Well, we got another great challenge next week. We travel out to Norwin, so we got some good competition here early on. But we're in Powerade this year for the first time in a lot of years. Since I don't know, it might be 8 years or so. So it's nice to be back there. Um, and then I always look forward to the county tournament. It's always nice to see if we can get some guys on the podium, get those all county shirts. It's a nice little added touch there.
I love me an all county shirt. There's no doubt about that. That's good
That's
stuff.
right.
Coach, I guess the last thing I really have for you, just give me some people that maybe behind the scenes over there at Moon that you want to shed some light on, maybe some boosters, some administrators, things of that nature.
Well, we definitely have a strong booster. We got a couple parents that run the show. Liam Costa's dad's actually the president there, so he's an awesome guy. He's working really hard. He's just so supportive. All of them are. They're just really supportive, help us out. Our administration is awesome too. They really kind of just help in a way to make sure there isn't any major obstacles that we have to deal with. Our athletic director does an awesome job with all that stuff. Actually was meeting them earlier today, trying to figure out, make sure we can get that Ethernet going. So hopefully you guys can join us this weekend. So but yeah, but other than that, I'm excited about our team. I'm excited about what our team's doing here and see where we can go. I got some great coaches that are with me that I don't know. The amount of work that they put in is again, all of it together just makes it really exciting.
That's great stuff. Hey, congrats again on this past weekend, and best of luck tomorrow and the rest of the way. We'll absolutely be tuning in.
Awesome, thank you. And I gotta throw a little shout out there to our girl, Haley Smarts there. I know we're talking about the boys team, but she starts her competition this weekend too out at Women of Iron Man. So she's
Cool.
her quest
Not an
begins.
easy one to start off, but I love that.
No, no,
Yeah,
she's got 3 rough ones in a row. She goes there, Beast, and then Powerade. So
there you go.
she's got a December.
Got the trifecta there. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's not bad. So good luck to her, and that's a great
Yes.
and worthy shout out. And Coach, we're excited to see you do your thing, and maybe I'll see you over there on Saturday. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. That works.
Oh man, appreciate you, Coach.
All
Thanks,
right.
Coach.
Thanks.
All right, and that was head coach of the Moon Tigers, Mr. Mike Morocco. What a dude. Of course, got a little West State ties to him, so I got some love for him for sure. And man, I was talking to some people. I can't think of the last time like Moon like won a tournament like that. And honestly, like we're talking about dominating fashion.
Yeah, it was impressive. They had eight of their 13 guys placed, and 6 of those 8 were in the top 3 with 5 champs. That's really, really freaking good. Really good. And they finished ahead of North Allegheny, who a lot of people have in the mix as one of the title contenders in AAA. So to me, I think Moon's in the mix. I do. Not saying they're going to win it, but they're in the mix. And that's all you need. Just get in the mix and figure it out, right?
I think that's a perfect way to segue into our next set of ads before we come back in, and we'll discuss the AAA in full picture when we come right back.
Is not game day without Pizza Bosa. Perfect for the family and the guys. Right next door to the PPG Paints Arena in downtown Pittsburgh. Dine in, pickup and delivery available from 10 a.m. to midnight. Stop by 741 5th Avenue or call 412-575-7575.
Hi, my name is Antonio Reyino, owner of Reversal Health and Wellness. I've been in healthcare for nearly 20 years and seen the effects obesity can have on someone's health. That's what inspired me to offer GLP-1 therapy at Reversal Health and Wellness. New evidence-based research has shown remarkable benefits of the therapy, including reversing fatty liver disease, improvement of sleep apnea, and slowing the progression of heart and kidney disease. And unlike national online companies, you won't get lost in the mix and you're not just another number. You'll receive a personalized treatment plan tailored to your goals and your health. And if you're not near Newcastle, Pennsylvania, no worries. Telemedicine options are always available. Also at Reversal Health, personalized treatment plan tailored to your goals and your health. And if you're not near Newcastle, Pennsylvania, no worries. Telemedicine options are always available. Also at Reversal Health and Wellness, we offer IV hydration therapy. We offer 7 different IV cocktails infused with nutrients designed to restore balance, boost energy, and support optimal health. Rather, if you're an athlete training for a competition, or a fatigued mother or two, or recovering from an illness, IV hydration will benefit you. We're located in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, on Wilmington Road at the Maison Building. You can either book online or call the office. Thank you.
All right. Let's see here. Again, those are 2 of our sponsors. Just to touch on them a little bit more. Pizza Bosa, downtown, owned by the Islamoff family, who we touched on a little bit with Sean there. If you guys are going down there for a Pens game, literally it's like right across the street from the arena, like next to like Super Bowl and things of that kind of nature there, right next to the arena. Go there, get a pizza, go hang out. Tell them D-Hall sent you, tell them Kaz sent you. They'll love that. So again, all these companies and people we're talking about, they're all wrestling families, they're all wrestling people, and that's what we love here on the show. So just kind of running them down again. The golf course on my side of the city, Fox Run Golf Course, it's in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, just northern Beaver County. Fantastic golf course, especially if you look at some of their prices to go out there and just get some work in and, take your family. It's a great public track, and of course it's just on the rise. I talked a little bit about earlier in the show, just they're changing their layouts and things of that nature. Just super excited to see where Fox Run goes. The other one that we have, Quest School of Wrestling, down here in Muse, Pennsylvania, on this side of the city. Of course, owned and ran by legendary Jim Akerley. Been a sponsor of the show for a few years now. One of my all-time favorite interviews. Go back and listen to that. I literally just sat down in his mat room and talked to him for about an hour. It was fantastic. But yeah, Kaz, I believe I got another golf course out on your side of the city, my friend.
Yeah, out here in Westmoreland County, Export, Pennsylvania, Manor Valley, owned and run by Seton Hill wrestling coach Vince DeAugustine, a dear friend of ours and a friend of the show. Very similar to the golf course out your way. Family environment. Everyone welcome. 18 holes, 9 holes, whatever you want to play. Full restaurant, bar, can have your entertainment there with 2 full ballrooms upstairs and downstairs. Golf leagues, plenty of entertainment. They do a great job at Manor Valley out in Export. 15 minutes from Monroeville, 10 minutes from Greensburg. Very convenient. Make your way out to Manor Valley and have a great time. We're always there. It's a popular golf destination for a lot of people, especially in the wrestling community.
Absolutely. And the last one we have for you, of course, is D-Hall Wrestling Club down there in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania. Ran and owned by Mr. James Fleming, the one they call Snapper. One of my favorite people to talk to in the WPIAL wrestling community. He just is super, super smart whenever he talks about wrestling. It's almost a different language. It's pretty cool. And just you want to talk about someone that has stories. My man has stories on stories on stories, and I can't wait to just sit down and hang out with him, talk to him in a long form episode. But yeah, of course, D-Hall Wrestling Club. Go check them out. Go get some work in by one of the best. All right, Kaz. Let's round out the show. We got to talk about it, man. I mean, we touched on it a little bit. These AAA schools, they don't have no problem doing each other earlier in the season, which is fantastic. Start off. Let's look at the box score for Norwin and Canon-Mac. I believe it pretty much opened up the season. Let's say Tuesday I was there.
It was Tuesday, December 2nd. They opened up the season at Canon-Mac and got the season off with a bang because that was one hell of a duel.
And I'm going to pull it up right here. Let's see. We'll do this one. Share this tab instead. Add the screen. All right. So looking at the screen here, I mean, this is the box score, of course, PAWrestling.com. Go check them out. If you're not a wrestling fan, you haven't been on PAWrestling.com, what are you doing? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I need to say. So you look at this screen here, a couple things stand out for me. Obviously, the upper weights for Canon-Mac are pretty damn good, which we need to take note of as we get going here in the season. But man, you look at 127, Gianna Gardner, 8-1 decision over Brooks Blasco. That intrigued my interest. That was pretty impressive. Even in, Norwin, just a little bit too much. Norwin, a team that, just on the rise, dude. It's gonna be interesting to see where they all shake out, but man, what a fire duel to start off the season.
Yeah, this was great. And looking at some of the scores too, this could have went, either way. Klippa defeats John Emma 8-5. If you flip that result, it's 28-27. Yep. So there were a lot of toss-up matches here on both sides, and they each kind of took some. Canon-Mac gets a pin at heavyweight in sudden victory, sneaking out a couple extra points. So there were a bunch of matches in this duel that kind of could have went either way, and there's a really good chance we see, these two compete again. Landon Sidden, obviously the number one guy in the country, does what he needs to do. The freshman out of Canon-Mac, Lee Dreschman, is phenomenal. Maybe the best freshman in the WPIAL. Yes. Coming in right now. And then at 145, Collier Hartman and Nate Klingsmith. That was, to me, kind of the feature match of this duel. And Hartman gets a 7-3 decision over Klingsmith. But Gianna Gardner, man, can't say enough about him. He started the season out with a bang. He takes out Brooks Blasco 8-1. And then 2 days later, Canon-Mac goes to Connellsville and wrestles Connellsville. And coming off a tough loss to Norwin, they go to Connellsville in a hostile environment on alumni night.
Yep.
I was there, and I'll be honest, Ken and Mac took it to him. They just flat out took it to him.
And that's something that, one, I don't expect Connellsville to kind of lose this early in season. Two, I don't expect them to lose in their gym. It's been, I can't tell you the last time that I can remember them losing in their gym, which, that's a testament to Ken and Mac coming back after a tough loss to Norwin in the beginning of the season. Now, we know Connellsville, they're going to be just fine.
They're just fine. They'll be just fine.
And I'm sure Coach Swink is using this as motivation. We to kind of round off that, they went out to, I believe, the Top Hat. They took second out there, which is like one of the premier tournaments on that side of the state early in the year. So they still got Lonzy, or not Lonzy, Kai, Lonzy's little brother, the Lilly brothers. I mean, they're going to be just fine. But it was Ken and Mac's night, and you got to give them some love there on the bounce back.
It was. They won 9 of 13 matches. They won all the toss-ups. I mean, it started at 107, and, Ken and Mac sent Lee Dreschman out at 121. They bumped him up, and he's taking on Zach Franks, who's a senior, who's been in that lineup for 4 years, who's good. Dreschman gets a gritty 4-1 win. And then, like we had said, Gianna Gardner, he beat Brooks Blasco 2 nights ago, and now he's taking on Tommy Gretz. And he beats Gretz 6-4 in a gritty performance in a match that he was losing early on. Gretz got the opening takedown in that match. So credit to Gianno Gardner. He's looked really good in his first 2 matches this year for Ken and Mac. And then the rest of the way up, Ken and Mac did what they need to do. They won another tough match at 152, 5-3 for Mason Calgaro. And then, like you said, the upper weights at Ken and Mac, they're really good. Bryson, Braden, Collins, and then, they got they wrestled a different heavyweight than they did at Norwin. I mean, Dakota Carmona and Owen Rush, they're both very capable of beating a lot of guys, which is a great problem to have. I mean, a lot of places don't have a heavyweight. Ken and Mac has 2 they trust to win, and that's nice to have. But as good as Ken and Mac looked and as much as they took it to them, I wouldn't be worried if I was Connellsville. It was their first competition of the year. Obviously, they were upset, and you got to go back to the drawing board, but it's a long year. This isn't the end of Connellsville. I still think they're in the mix. I'm not going to be prisoner of the moment and say, oh, they're done, because they're not. They're not, and I know they're not. But Ken and Mac, man, damn good, Donnie. Look damn good.
Damn good. And it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out too, because as much as they look good, like Norman looked pretty damn good the night before on Tuesday. And, I talked to Coach Martin a little bit after the match, and, he was indifferent, I'll say, about his team's performance. Wasn't happy with some of his guys, weight cut situations, things of that nature. So, but when are you ever going to get a positive response out of a coach sometimes? You know what I mean? So right. you got that as well. But at the same time, man, it was an impressive start to the season for both these squads. And I think the other big data point that we got to talk about is over at the Trinity duels. Trinity and Franklin Regional freaking wrestled in the finals over there at the Trinity duels.
And it goes to criteria.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It goes to criteria. So you have those 3 big duels in AAA happened already. And now we have Moon and Franklin tomorrow. And we have Moon and Norwin next week. All of these teams are wrestling each other. They're all wrestling each other. We're going to get some great data to see where everyone's at. And even Thomas Jefferson, a team who took top 4 in the WPIAL last year. Thomas Jefferson was at the Trinity duels and wrestled Franklin. They wrestled Trinity. A team that's in the mix. Like there's so much parity in AAA right now, and I freaking love it.
And I know that West Day came down to like one of the last matches against Thomas Jefferson too. So it's like, I don't normally like to give my squad some love. I'd let them do their thing on their own, but they're going to be interesting this year. I think they got some guys coming back. Their bookends, of course, with Michael Johnson and Cam Dana, I think going to be really interesting. And then, they got the Snatch Go in there with Slovik, and there's going to be some pieces, of course, Bencho and things of that nature. So, I'm really interesting to see where AAA kind of plays out. And, the other team, I would say that, with Franklin Regional, with Trinity, with the other two teams we're talking about, Kiski's going to be a problem this year too. And they were out up at, I believe, Greenville.
Yes.
And they won 5-0 up there at Greenville.
And they're going to be hosting their Kiski duels this weekend, which has some really good competition. You're going to see some really good duels. And we talk about some of these lineups, and Kiski's, I don't have any problem saying this, and I think you would agree with me. Kiski's probably better than anyone from 172 up.
Yes, they're really
in AAA. I mean, you're going to go Abe Taylor, Mario Hutchison, Cooper Roskowski, and Alex Akerley. I mean, you have 3 Division I kids in those 4 weights. So they're a tough out for people. I love it. It's just crazy, some of these lineups, with kind of Franklin and Trinity and Connellsville. They're really good in the light in the middle, and then they're, not to be negative, but there's some growing pains up top. They're getting there. And then you look at a team like Kiski, who is kind of the opposite. It's just disturbingly good up top, almost great. And then in the middle, they're good, but that's where they're kind of they're getting some guys ready in those mid. And then Ken and Mac, they're kind of solid everywhere. They're not great in spots, but they're not bad anywhere. They're solid absolutely everywhere with a couple hammers mixed in. I love it. You see 3 different ways a lineup is built, and we're going to see which one come first week of February.
Yeah,
is at the top.
I think it's either first or second week of February when we start. Are you referring to
the team
playoffs?
Yeah.
First or second week of February. Other thing I wanted to note over there at Bell Vernon, and it's not really like maybe it is a whippier result. Elijah Brown takes a loss to a sophomore from Du Bois. Kaz. That's crazy.
Yeah, Kendall Hoare. Out of Du Bois, who was a freshman last year. It went down to 189. I know he's a blue chip recruit, in the country, only a sophomore. He's going up to 215, and he beats, Elijah Brown, the defending state champ. I got to talk to Elijah on Sunday at the Westmoreland County kickoff show, and, he's all good. It's early in the year. His mindset, goals, expectations, nothing changed. It's just, that's what happens. Sometimes you take a loss and you respond from it, or it's how you respond from it. And the Elijah that I know and the Elijah my guess is he's going to respond the right way to it. And Bell Vernon had a big win on Wednesday over Bethel Park, a team who's been, very successful the past few years when Coach Nauman was the head coach there. So that's a good win for Bell Vernon.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think what you said there was dead on with Elijah. I have no doubts that, again, it's only December. It's not much. So he'll be just fine, like we said, for a lot of these guys. But it is interesting to see some of the early season results. Kaz, I guess for me, man, we talked a ton about AAA tonight. Break me down some AA, man. What, obviously, for me, I'm going to see, I think, one of the best teams in the state this weekend at the Moon Duels in Derry. But give me the rest of the squads over there in AA, and what do you think it looks like this year?
I think it's very similar to last year, in that, to me, it's a 2-horse race for the championship, and that would be Burrell and Derry, who wrestled each other in the championship last year. I don't see anybody in AA beating either of those 2 teams, but 4 go to the state tournament. So there's other teams going to be in the mix. And those teams, to me, Quaker Valley has almost their whole lineup back. They're going to be right there in the mix. I think right now I would say Quaker Valley is the 3rd best team. On paper, I would say I would put them at 3. Them or McGuffey can be interchangeable at 3 and 4. McGuffey has a lot back. A lot of people have been talking about Laurel. But the team that I'm pretty high on, and you and I talked off camera, Jefferson Morgan, they're pretty good. They have a lot back. Alec Pelko's really good. They get the Delaney's in there, and then they get the transfer Gino Orlandi. That would be my sleeper team in AA, Jefferson Morgan. I would keep an eye on them. If they sneak into that top 4 and make the state tournament, it wouldn't surprise me, one bit. But for me, it's going to come down to Burl and Derry. I think a lot of people would agree with that. And it's going to be a hell of a duel, just like it was last year.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what the lineups shake out and what the lineups look like. And obviously, as soon as each side, Derry and Burl, gets those lineups, it'll be a lot of
it'll be a chess match.
Yes, it'll be a chess match. It'll be interesting too. Of the premier coaching staffs, not only in the WPIAL, not only in AA, AAA, in the entire state and the entire country, I would put both those coaching staffs as like top tier, which is incredible for AA schools. That being, Troy Dolan, Mickey Philippi, Hunter Kernan over there at Derry, with I'm sure a bunch of others that I'm missing. And then, of course, what you guys have at Burl with Coach Ansini and Jake Mackey, and of course Coach Shields and Coach
Isaac
Greenlee, who owns the Mac Factory. I mean, it's just, I love watching these rivalries, but there's one constant, and that's you boys over there, the Burl Bucks. No matter what, I mean, you guys have had rivalries with South Fayette, you've had rivalries with Ferguson, you've had rivalries with now Derry, you've had rivalries with Freedom. I love what, it's a testament to the program, and it's impressive that year in and year out, you guys are there no matter what.
Yeah, they do the right thing there. They build from the youth program. The youth program has built them into the junior high, into the high school. They've always had great coaching, great kids, great family. They've always done it the right way. So kudos to them, and kudos to Derry, because they're right there on the doorstep. With Burl, they've kind of put themselves in that mix. Like you had said, there was a 3 or 4 year stretch where it was Burl and South Fayette, then Burl and Freedom, Burl and Shady Side, dating back to kind of when you and I were in school, and now it's Burl and Derry. We got to see it last year, and I fully expect to see it again this year. And it'll be a hell of a duel. It was a hell of a duel last year. It'll be a chess match, just like we expect. Troy's going to move his Derry lineup. Steve's going to move his Burl lineup, and we're going to see who's the better team.
I love it. All right, kind of wrapping up what we have had happen this weekend. Again, we talked a little bit. Armstrong. We can do that. Armstrong went 4-1 at the Greenville Duels, the same place that Kiski went 5-0. No, they did not wrestle each other. Two different sides or two different pools there, but two teams, like you said, we talked a bunch about Kiski, but Armstrong sneaky too, buddy. They got a couple really nice individuals, and of course they're well coached with Coach Noel up there. Yeah,
they have a good lineup. Another team that's really good in the upper weights with Kinsey, Tay Bradshaw, and the heavyweight Philip Rierick, who's ranked I think second in the state right now.
He's up there.
Philip Rierick, yeah. Armstrong, they do it the right way.
No doubt. Other couple notes, Hickory Invitational Tournament, which if you guys are out there and if you found the results, please send them to us, because neither of us have been able to find them. So, but the only results that we have is two top 5 teams for West Moco, and then Plum takes 10th out there. So Greater Latrobe 2nd, Penn Trafford 3rd, and Plum takes 10th. Again, don't know who placed what where. Haven't been able to find those results. So if you guys find them, send them to us. But again, those two teams, all three of those teams rather, have been fantastic in the last 5 or so years, and I expect to be really solid this year.
Yeah, we'll see Plum and Penn Trafford wrestle tomorrow. There's one shout out I do want to give. A dear friend of mine, good friend of yours, Donnie, Austin Shaw, assistant wrestling coach at Seton Hill. Austin and his wife, Maggie, I'll say it, are expecting their child. We've all known that. And they had their gender reveal this weekend. And there is going to be a new baby boy in the Shaw family. We usually call him Uncle Jeff, but now Pappy Jeff
Oh, baby.
is very excited. So congratulations, Austin and Maggie, on your baby boy due in April, and to the whole Shaw family. They're great people, love them to death. So congratulations to Austin and his wife Maggie.
Man, that's some good stuff there. And of course, I got a lot of love for all the Shaw family, all the Shaw boys. Austin spent many of hours talking to him, just in wrestling and life. And then, had the opportunity to golf with Alec a little bit this summer. He played in my golf league. And, of course, what can you say about now Pappy Shaw? Just kind of been a mentor to me in this whole game as I've been doing this. Just love that family so much, and everything that represented is just good stuff, man. And excited to. I'm sure there'll be another Shaw boy on the mat here real soon.
Yeah, it won't take long.
That's what I'm saying. As soon as they can walk, I'm sure my man will be out there rolling around. Oh man. Looking forward. I guess, Kaz, we talked a little bit about it. Moon, Franklin Regional tomorrow. Cannon Mac is wrestling Sharp Valley. Connellsville is wrestling West Allegheny, I believe.
That's going to be a good duel.
Very good duel. I think that it's going to be sneakier than people think. Like I said, I like my West A squad this year. I think Coach Troy Raygard and company has really got something going in there, and the team is starting to work really hard. But looking at the rest of the weekend. Barnesville duels out in Ohio. Trinity's going out there. You got the the Ringgold duels, the Doug Conroy duels, if you will. The Hampton Dog duels, which Hampton's got. It's like a lot of northern teams, Kaz, like Baldwin. That's actually south. But Beaver, Fox Chapel, Greater Latrobe, Hampton, Indiana, Mars, Central Catholic, Thomas Jefferson, Titusville, which isn't out of the area. Then the Kitski duels, which was, we talked about this, man. This is going to be some fire here. I mean, look at this team lineup here. Cannon-Mac, DuBois, Fort LaBeouf, Hempfield, Kitski, North Allegheny, Penn Trafford, Peters Township, and Waynesburg. I mean, my man.
It's really good. Really good.
It's really good. I mean, I'm jealous. I'm excited to see, I'll definitely have West Moco sports on there for the finals. And, the way it looks there, I mean, we're definitely going to get some type of fire matchup in the finals. I mean, if I had to pick how it's all going to shake out, I mean, if I see a Cannon Mac Kiski matchup, I mean, dude, we're getting spoiled here in the early season of seeing all these matchups.
Very spoiled. I know they're doing two different pools and then crossover. I don't think those pools have come out yet. Coach Heater probably has them, but he hasn't released them yet, at least to the public. I don't expect, the public or us to have that info till Saturday morning. I'll see if Coach Heater or Coach Keebs will
Get a little insider info.
Send me a little text. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll running down the rest of the weekend that is upcoming. The Mac McGuire duels over there at Upper St. Clair, Avella, Brashear, Greensburg, Salem, and Upper St. Clair. The Moon duels, which we talked to Coach Morocco about. Beth Center, Central Valley, Derry, Laurel, Moon, Mount Lebanon, and Palmyra, which is a really good team that they brought last year. Pine Richland, Quaker Valley, and West Allegheny. And then rounding out the weekend is the North Hill duels with Avonworth, Burgettstown, Shar Houston, Gateway, Montour, North Hills, and Plum. Duels weekend, as we always say, go watch wrestling, man. Go support these, go pay the admission fees, whatever the hell it is, $10, $5. Go pay, watch these kids wrestle, watch these kids compete. They work hard, all week long, all summer long, all winter long. Just go watch them do their things and watch some of these coaches. I love watching some of these coaches just kind of navigate. It's like you said, it's a chess match, and it's really interesting.
You should have seen Coach Nauman last Thursday at Connellsville.
Losing it, I'm sure.
The whole Cannon Mac staff, and so is the whole Connellsville staff. But it's cool seeing his Matt side, seeing Coach Swink and Coach Jesco and all those guys, and how they operate, and then you see, excuse me, Coach Nauman and his guys over there. It was awesome. Emotions were high on both sides. It was a great tool.
And I think that, that's another testament to Connellsville that that atmosphere is always like that there, no matter who they're wrestling. And the intensity is always there, which makes the other team got to bring it. It's like you're going into like the champ's house. You know what you're getting into. You got to be ready to go. And again, we talked about it. They'll be just fine. We'll see them, I'm sure. If we saw them at Peters Township, neither of us are going to be surprised at the end of the year for the tournament there. But again, what a great first week of wrestling in the WPIAL. I can't wait to see what happens this weekend at the Dole tournaments. And yeah, Kaz, anything else before we leave the people go?
No, great first episode of the season. And there's plenty more to come. We have some big shows to come this year, as you guys all know. Some new kind of content we'll come up with throughout the year. But as always, we appreciate you guys. We love the sport just like you guys do, and any coverage we can bring for you guys, especially for these wrestlers, we're going to do that. So it's great to be back, Donnie. It's always good to be with you on here. And I can't wait to see you at our next event.
Yes, for sure. Always a great time with you, my friend. And until next week, we will see you all later for this edition of Near Falls in the WPIAL. Your boy D-Hall, your boy Kaz. We'll see you.